Live now to John Fuller, the attorney for Cardell Hayes, the accused shooter of former St. Will Smith.
I'm claiming that my client that you're going to say is not guilty for second-degree murder.
On what grounds?
On the grounds that he's not guilty.
Did the passenger with Cardell Hayes that night, did he have a gun? Did he fire that gun?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
The fact, to the police, how do you feel about the investigation so far? And do you think that they found things at the scene that should be made public at this time or that could come out very shortly?
I don't want to say that I'm concerned, but I think maybe the public is being misled as to all of the dynamics that were involved. There have been a number of actions that occurred that night prior to this incident that you absolutely have no knowledge of. However, I'm sure that the police department knows about. So hopefully all that stuff comes out soon. Certainly, if not by the New Orleans Police Department, by myself and Jay Daniels when we present our witnesses or some of our witnesses at a preliminary hearing.
When will that be? Do you have any date?
We won't get a date until tomorrow.
So, John, is your client threatened by a gun or by talk of a gun?
Everyone was threatened that was out there.
By what?
Really doesn't matter. But you were threatened, and you saw today that I filed a motion to preserve all ballistic evidence.
Is when at least in Louisiana, to use lethal force, you have to be threatened with a lethal threat. Is your defense going to be that he faced lethal action and that's why he had to act the way he did, Mr. Hayes?
Well, my defense is going to be that all of the citizens out there, besides the folks involved in with Mr. Smith and his friends, if you will, all of them felt threatened, right? And that Cardell Hayes is legally not guilty.
Are you saying that someone with Mr. Smith's party, because there might have been other people with him, was threatening other people in the area? And what are the nature of some of those threats that you're hearing about?
Yeah, well, I'm not saying anything. I'm repeating what multiple witnesses told me. And what multiple witnesses have told me that someone besides my client and his friend were behaving in a threatening nature out there on that night. And the police department knows this, so y'all should speak with them about it as well.
John, if a second weapon is found, and we don't know if it will, but if a second weapon is found, does it change the narrative? Does it change what we've heard for the last 24 hours?
Not from my standpoint, but from the standpoint that my client has been pilloried, convicted, and tried in social media, print media, television media, when the truth of the matter is that he is not guilty and that so much occurred prior to this actual incident that will shed light on everything.
Do you think it's going to be difficult for your client to get a fair trial?
No.
The other lawyer that's going to take over once you assume judgeship?
Yeah, Jay Daniels is enrolled currently as co-counsel. And when I'm not able to make appearances on behalf of Mr. Smith, Mr. Hayes, Mr. Daniels he'll do a fine job. He helped me represent Mr. Hayes previously.
What was the relevance of you said earlier in the night there may have been another accident. Your client was hit by another car?
Yeah. So prior to the actions that led to Mr. Smith's death, my client was involved in a hit and run. Someone hit him. The person failed to pull over. My client trailed behind this person in an effort to get their license plate number. My client also called 911. While he's on the phone with 911, that's when the 3-car accident occurs. So he doesn't actually talk to a 911 operator, but we're hoping that the incident was recorded after 911 picked up.
John, why wasn't your client charged with attempted murder for Raquel, for the second victim?
Well, let's just say that it goes to my theory of the case. I don't want to get into specifics, but I think it's very glaring that he wasn't.
So you believe that someone other than your client may have fired bullets at Raquel?
I believe that when the New Orleans Police Department reveals everything that they've learned, then we all, well, not me, but you all will have a different impression of this case than that's been created thus far.
One more question. Do you believe that there were multiple shooters at the scene?
I believe the evidence would support that my client is legally not guilty.
So Raquel's injuries, do you believe, came from that second gun that you're referring to?
I believe all the ballistic evidence will prove that my client's not guilty.
Where did that first incident happen, that first hit and run? Was that on Sophie Wright Place?
Magazine.
Where on Magazine?
Near the split.
John, the police department says they will be rebooking your client with shooting Raquel. Does that surprise you?
Doesn't surprise me. You know, obviously we're dealing with a police department that at times can be reactionary, and I think that maybe when they got wind of, you know, what some of the witnesses were saying, they took it upon themselves to do that. Doesn't change the facts, doesn't change what the evidence will show.
John, and just to be clear, when the 3-car accident happened, your client did not run into somebody that he was pursuing, or he did?
No.
Will Smith's vehicle
When
was what he was pursuing?
When the 3-car accident happened, my client merely hit the vehicle that was in front of him.
But you don't believe that was the vehicle he was chasing after that had hit him?
He wasn't chasing after any vehicle. He was merely trying to get a license plate and call 911.
John, there's been talk of Will Smith being friends with William Saravolo. That's a person that your client sued years earlier as part of his lawsuit against the city. Do you believe there is any connection between the relationship with Mr. Smith and Mr. Saravolo and your client?
Well, I know there is not any connection. You have to remember that Mr. Hayes' dad died in 2005. My client was in the beginning of a college football career in 2005, wasn't even here. You know, he doesn't know what any of these officers look like. He was never in court that he could remember with any of them. And according to him, and I have no reason to believe this, that he may have only gone to court once or twice for his dad's case. You got to remember, this was 11 years ago. You know, so the idea that he would remember what a detective looked like who has aged 11 years since that incident, a detective, to the best of his knowledge, he never even saw, is a stretch.
So Mr. Smith and Mr. Hayes were complete strangers in all of this before that incident?
To put these rumors to rest, my client didn't know Mr. Smith. My client wasn't friends or associates with Mr. Smith. And my client never worked security for the New Orleans Saints.
John, is the reason, your belief of your client's explanation for his innocence, is that why he stayed on the scene?
Yeah, so I'm glad you brought that up. You know, consistent with the actions of someone who is concerned, not only did my client call 911 in an effort to report the hit and run, he stayed on the scene awaiting the arrival of the police officers.
He wasn't detained there by anybody, he stayed at his own will?
No, he wasn't detained.
What specific actions are you talking about that made people on the scene feel threatened?
You're going to find out at the preliminary hearing. That it?
That's it.
Thank you.
We're getting it.